These are the glues I use. Glues, glues, glues. See ya, yeah, glue.
Glue challenge here. This is going to be Gorilla Glue Clear Grip Contact Cement versus Foam-Tac for glue and foam. The big deal here is the Foam-Tac is about $16 once you put shipping in, and I have to get this online. The Gorilla Glue, I can get at my local Walmart for about $5. We did a challenge last week with the E6000, and I see here it uses like E6000. The thing is, the Foam-Tac will work on any foam. The Gorilla Glue is just like the E6000, where some of it will work, some of it will eat into it. So you have to test this before you use it on any foam. But I can get this at Walmart or a hardware store around here for $5. This is, like I said, $15, $16 online once you put in shipping. So we're going to see what it works like. We're going to try it on some E-Flite foam here. I'm going to cut this up. And we also got some flight test foam board. The E6000 ate the foam board from Dollar Store last time, but we're going to try the flight test. So let me cut this all up and glue it, and I'll go from there. So here's a challenge we have. This is foam from an E-Flite Turbo Timber. These two right here, well, these two for the Foam-Tac and the Gorilla Glue. We also have the foam from Flight Test Foam Board. Last time with the E6000 we used Dollar Store foam board, but I think it's the same thing. And the E6000 ate that. This again is not safe to use on some types of styrofoam and polyfoam. It doesn't say exactly what kind, but test it before you use this. But the reason you would want to use this is in case you couldn't get Foam-Tac, had to wait for it, wanted to fix your plane. This you can get right down at your local hardware store if you're in the States, or Walmart for about $5. This is $15. So what we're going to do is we're going to see if this don't eat the foam. If it don't eat the foam, we're going to put those together. We know Foam-Tac works on all of them. All right, so we got everything set up here. And this Gorilla Glue contact cement seems like it's exactly the same as the E6000. For the foam board with the paper off, it's eating it. You can see it doesn't seem like it is as bad as it was the E6000 ate into the Dollar Store foam board. But the lesson here is before you use the Gorilla Glue, make sure the foam will take it. We're just going to stick that together to see how well it's going to hold. So that's that. Now it seems fine, just like the E6000 on the E-Flite foam. So if you're in a pinch and have to fix your E-Flite plane and it went down or something, you can always go get this or the E6000 for repairs. Now we're going to let this sit overnight. They both say 24 hours to cure, and then we're going to pull them apart and see which one is better. I got a feeling it's going to be basically the same thing as the E6000, which is, this comes apart a little bit easier. This still holds well. This will hold a little bit better. So kind of a tie, but we'll come back here tomorrow and finish this up. Right, so we're back, and I already predicted what I think will happen, but let's see. Let's try the wood first. Gorilla Glue and wood. And if you can see, that's nice bead of glue on there, so that's on there well. It's holding quite well. Came off. Took some foam with it, about the same as the E6000 was. Held on pretty well, but it wasn't as good as foam to foam. Foam-Tac and wood, same thing. We got a nice bead around there, and if you just give it a little tug, it comes off. just about the same. That didn't take off as much foam as the Gorilla Glue did. So we'll say the Gorilla Glue held a little bit better. Really, either one of them, depending on how you crashed or whatever, might come apart. So let's try the Gorilla Glue and E-Flite Foam. This is a rudder off of Turbo Timber, and it holds good. Of course, I can. Now for the Gorilla Glue, that came right off on where the Gorilla Glue was at. I probably could have done a little bit better job of gluing it, but that still held pretty good. Came off where it was glued. Foam-Tac. Got a good bead around there. See, I probably could have glued up there a little bit better. That peels right off the same as the Gorilla Glue did. It's easy to peel it that way. Came off on the glue, and let's go for this is flight test foam board with the paper removed. Now you can see the Gorilla Glue ate the foam a little bit. E6000 ate it a lot, well, some more. But this, well, I guess it did eat it quite a bit if you take it apart. So don't use it on flight test foam board. When I glued it together, when I pushed it together yesterday, it hadn't ate that much. So that's Foam-Tac wins in that regard right there. Oh, and it came apart the board. So that was a little bit better also. That's flight test and Foam-Tac. So I would say the Gorilla Glue would work good in a pinch. It did not seem to hold as good as E6000 did, if you see my last video on E6000 versus the Foam-Tac. So there you go, Gorilla Glue versus Foam-Tac. They both work. Depends what you're using it for. If you're going to use this, make sure you test it on the foam. This works on any foam. Alright, that's it.
These are the glues I use. These are the glues I use.